he contradicts himself. Another thing that Sam Harris.
Non sequitur.
Another thing that Sam Harris is saying.
You don't know any atheists that make moral standards.
Wait. Just because Sam Harris.
Shake the pillars of heaven, Jack.
Just because Sam Harris.
Who cares what Sam Harris
Just because Sam Harris says. Just because Sam Harris says it's subjective doesn't mean it's fucking objective.
So now you're going no true Scotsman on me. Now you're going no true Scotsman's on me.
Maybe by his fake
That's
definition.
all you do is
maybe
spew
by
out
his
logical
fake definition,
man.
I don't spew out logical fallacies. You want me to fucking take on?
Scotsman.
You want me to take on a fucking ideology?
And then when confronted on
you
appeal to no true Scotsman.
Okay. You want me to argue on Sam Harris? You want me to argue on Sam Harris, but he has no basis for his morality. Now you know who actually is more closer.
He wrote it out.
You know who is that? No, he wrote it out, but ultimately, when you look at the basis, there's no basis other than he just chooses. That's it.
Yeah, so
that's it.
That's a basis.
He just chooses. No.
Whatever
Choosing.
You want to
No. Choosing is not a basis.
He wrote a basis.
Choosing is not a basis. Choosing alone is not a basis. You have to have a reason why you made that choice. You have to have a reason why you made that choice. You have to have a reason why you made that choice.
Brian, how about this? I am an atheist, and I choose to live a moral existence, and I live in a moral existence. So, but I choose to do it.
So what's the basis that abandoning your son in your moral existence? What's your basis for having that as a moral?
Well, no one said that it was moral.
Well, that's the whole point of the conversation.
No one said that particular action was moral, but that's not. You're assuming that as an atheist would do that, which I would not.
Right. But for an atheist, right? Besides, like, I want to, I don't want to do something. What is your morals derived from?
From the well-being of society, because I don't want to live in a chaotic world.
Okay. So how do you determine what's the well-being for society is?
Because I share space.
So if society becomes chaotic, right?
Hang on a second.
If it's already chaotic,
hang on, I'll answer the
what's
question.
Your morals?
Because I live in a world where I share space with other human beings, and my actions affect them and directly come back and affect me as well.
What's your basis for your actions being good or not that ultimately leads to good versus bad?
The immediate consequences of my actions.
The immediate consequences. So anything that you can't perceive past 3 fucking moves is all good. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I can try and look at it from like a chess perspective and think 3 or 4 moves ahead, but I can't see all outcomes. I just try to do the best I can with the best information that I have.
Okay, so how do you know this will become a good outcome with 3 or 4 fucking moves ahead? And how do you judge the outcome itself is good or bad?
Because it doesn't take away from society; it contributes to society.
Okay, so how is promoting transgenderism promoting good for society?
It promotes inclusiveness and acceptance.
Inclusiveness and acceptance by itself is all that needed. So as long as we promote inclusiveness and acceptance, that matters. Even if the person's raping little kids or promoting little kids or grooming little kids, that's okay.
Whoa! So you're equating transgenders with rapists?
I'm not training. I'm generalizing, like promoting acceptance for all people.
No, you're straw manning.
You're straw manning, dude. You completely straw man me.
I did not straw man.
You did. We talked about transgenders. We talked about transgenders, and then you dropped in, rapists.
Okay, so we're talking about an inclusiveness for all, right? That's what we're talking about, not transgenders only, right?
Here's the difference, though, Brian. The difference is that transgender people, they have a certain perception of themselves and their lives. And what they want is acceptance. What child molesters want is to molest.
Well, they want acceptance for what they're doing. They want. What are you talking about?
Yes. But hang on, aspect. Yes, but the problem is, Brian, the pederast or the rapist or the murderer, they take away from society. Their actions are inherently selfish.
How do you? Wait. How is murdering someone take away alone?
Because you take a person. Really? Do I have to answer that?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so if I murder somebody, even in self-defense, I take that person away from their loved ones.
Okay, so again,
I invariably do harm outside of the murder itself.
Doesn't everyone die, though? Eventually, they're going to be taken away from their loved ones anyway?
Yes, but that's natural death, though.
What's it seems pretty arbitrary to say one is natural death, so it's bad.
Well,
good,
no, because if I murder somebody, that's different than them dying from disease or from old age.
Okay, no. Again, you literally said that what made it bad is that you're taking someone away.
You need to know that there's somebody in here that's actually defending murder and killing and baby rape, and that would be the Christian, just so you know.
Age or disease or
You're just saying what you're saying, you're arbitrarily just saying that this is bad versus just dying. And so to me,
no, I'm comparing. I'm utilizing evolutionary game theory, and I'm comparing selfish action. Yes, I am. I'm comparing selfish action. No, hold on a second. I'm comparing selfish action with cooperative action. Because cooperative action over the long term, cooperative action over the long term results in gain for the entire populace, whereas selfish action in the long term results in the decline of the populace.
Okay, so cooperative action of a bunch of lemmings jumping off a cliff is good, you said?
That's a straw man because humans aren't lemmings.
Well, it doesn't matter. Can't humans collectively commit suicide?
Also, Brian, stop using the word arbitrary. Do you know what the word arbitrary means?
It
means without rhyme or reason.
You keep using this word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Stop being a dictionary Karen.
Okay, so the point is, just like lemmings, human beings have been shown to work as a collectively for the greater good of suicide, right?
I mean, so JL, I hate to run Darth's argument, and I'm not going to run Darth's argument on you with believing in God, but you could kind of do the same way with morals, right?
Well, not really, because morals are wholly subjective. Yeah, wholly subjective.
Are they? Well, if they're subjective, you're just saying it's arbitrary how you selected your morals then.
Yeah, what's your ultimate when it comes to morals?
There is no ultimate when it comes to morals. I choose to look at the greater good of society, and I act in accordance with that because I personally don't want to live in a chaotic, dog eat dog world.
Well,
so I do my best to ensure that
some people do.
Some people might want to, but some people might want to, but that's their choice.
Well, neither do I, but because you arbitrarily selected a weird basis for just this.
No, but hold on. The fact that you don't want to live in you don't want to eat in a dog eat dog society. How does your morals change the fact that some people do, and so your morals isn't actually going to change society because
they don't because morals are subjective. Some person might see the dog eat dog society as beneficial to society. It proves that it's wholly subjective. That's all it is. I never disagreed with that.
Yeah, but your moral choice isn't going to make a difference in the kind of world you end up living in.
No, but they make a difference in my position, from me, in my life, and those closest to me.
My argument was that atheists have no objective basis or basis for their morals. It's just arbitrary selection. And you just are agreeing with me.
Morals are subjective.
No, again, I don't. I disagree. I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Hold on, let me see if I can show some light on that. Hold on, please. Give me a second. Brian, just to clarify, when we use the word objective, are you talking about independent of human opinion? Is that what you mean by objective?
Well, opinion is different from inference. Would you agree?
No. So I'm asking like a yes or no question here.
Well, I would say based how I define opinion, no. Yes, I am using it as independent of an opinion.
Okay. Well, if objective means independent of human opinion, then how on earth can morality possibly be objective under that definition? Because every single human on planet Earth has an opinion on morality, and everyone's sense of morality is a bit different from everyone else's.
Okay, so that's to give you an example. Everyone has an opinion what is true and what is false, but ultimately truth exists. But you having an opinion if something's true or false doesn't mean that truth doesn't exist. Do you agree?
What does that have to do with a?
Well,
with
it does. It does. It does. It does. It does, and I'll explain.
Well,
it does.
Brian, I think their ultimate and absolute is the laws that govern them in the state they live in.
Yeah. The ultimate is whoever fucking beats them down with a whip. Yes, you're right. It's like, no, master. No, master.
What the fudge?
So I would say this is how I define objective morality. A moral inference from an objective truth. Subjective morality is a moral inference from subjective reality, or imagination. And that's what the atheist just demonstrated. His basis for his inference of morality came from his own imagination.
Imagination, really. So you don't think that this subjective?
Well, no, he's right because the states that govern, right? Some allow weed to be legal, some don't, right? That could be morally subjective, right?
Sorry, one more time. Some allow what to be illegal?
Some states allow weed to be legal.
I say any morals are objective or inferred from objective truths.
Here's an example. Here's an objective morality. Like, I presume everyone here has reproductive organs, right? So, would you agree that it's praiseworthy to use reproductive organs for reproduction?
No.
Well, that's
why not?
Why are you saying no? Why are you saying no? What's your reason for that?
No, why would you praise that?
Because it has an implied teleology. It's like you got a mouth, you use it for speaking and for eating. Well, how is that problematic with the mouth? This is actually a good action.
That ain't all I use it for.
I use it for speaking or eating or drinking. Just because it has reproductive organs means I can use it for other things too.
Like what?
So, like what? Punching bags?
Just enjoyment. I don't have to do it for reproduction.
Oh, can you show me how you're using your balls? Can you show me how you're using your balls?
Yeah, but that's just being a Kuma. That isn't particularly praiseworthy.
So I would go this far.
You're the guys using the word praise.
I would go this far. The objective truth is that everyone has a genetic predisposition to survive. Well, what is true survival if we all die? True survival is passing on your genetics. That's the objective truth. So the question is, what would cause the greatest chances of your genetics surviving?
How would you survive if you pass on your genetics?
Because you are your genetics.
Your moral is a naturalistic fallacy. Your morals are based on the naturalistic fallacy.
No, causation is not a naturalistic fallacy.
Yes, it is.
No.
It's survival.
Eating and reproducing are enjoyable so that you fucking do them and so you don't neglect them.
Naturalistic fallacy has to do something happens to the nature, so therefore it's true.
All right,
this is a causation. This is a causation. There's a difference.
What Brian is saying.
You didn't say causation. You said survival by passing on the genes.
Okay.
That's causation. Your genetic predisposition is a causation.
Yeah, it's a naturalistic fallacy. You're just renaming it.
No, that's not a naturalistic fallacy. Naturalistic fallacy is saying animals fuck, so two male animals fuck, so being homo is fine. That's a naturalistic fallacy.
Your survival is the driving factor.
No, the naturalistic fallacy is if it happens in nature, therefore it's natural. That's in the fallacy.
Hold on.
I'm not making an appeal to nature at all. I'm making an appeal to the causation.
Assigning teleology to organs isn't a naturalistic fallacy. It's just a functional description.
So let me wrap this up. Let me ask you guys a question. How long did you think it took horses for them to realize that when the babies came out, they had to walk automatically? Do you think that was a natural process, or do you think it was causation?
Causation.
So what would tell
that is a natural process.
But what would tell the baby horse to get on his feet as soon as he was born?
Presumably getting on your feet is pleasurable in some way for a horse.
No. I think there's a genetic predisposition for him to do that. It's his body, it's the genes in his body telling him to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, that's what I mean. So you come across situations like that in nature, and you ask yourself, Did horses have to die and them analyze it to say that? But how do they teach them that before they come out? So weird.
It didn't. It didn't. It was genetic. 100%. That was a genetic thing.
Bart,
it's not exactly
babies,
genetic.
right? When babies are born, right? You can grab their finger. You can put your fingers in between their hands, and they'll automatically grab it and hold to it. And you can pick them up just like that. The same with monkeys. They can do the same thing too. Why is that?
Yeah, but that can't be taught because as soon as they come out, they have that natural sort of
they have that genetic predisposition to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, they have an automatic. You can't teach your kid something.
It's like throwing a baby in water. A newborn baby in water will automatically start trying to swim to the surface.
Well, at least it'll hold its breath
long enough,
I'm not
or
sure
die.
If that was a good example with the horse, but it's something that.
No, that was a perfect example. That was a perfect example.
No.
Perfect. Because obviously the horse isn't being taught to stood up. The horse is trying to stand up on its own without knowing to stand up.
It's like I think you can have this objective morality. Just returning to that, it's like your stomach is good when it's like it's digesting food. It's like a good thing to supply it with food to digest. I would say it's either an indifferent moral or a bad morally thing to use your stomach, say, to store a fucking piggy bank of coins. It's just not a natural process for that stomach, and you'd actually be doing damage to the organ and to yourself. So you'd say swallowing coins is a bad thing.
Nah, but we all did that as kids.
Well, so that was something.
No, I meant a whole piggy bank. Just literally, it's like my stomach. I just decided to use it as a piggy bank. Say that's bad, objectively bad.
Why? Because if you talk about well-being, that diminishes well-being, correct?
No, it's because it's a stomach and it's for digesting. It's not for storing.
But it causes problems with it, right? That's what you're saying, right? You eat those, and it's going to cause
Imagine
problems,
the damage done if you swallow a bunch of coins or rock to pass a really strong magic.
Yeah, but this is like when you misuse an organ that has a particular function, yet damage is done. So using your dick to, I don't know, stir, a pot of hot soup, that's a bad thing because damage is done. And also to your sexual function, just masturbating, you are doing damage in a certain sense because you're just reducing it to the pleasure without its proper function.
No.
I believe it has a proper function, and you're the one who's giving it this proper function.
Well, it's a reproductive organ. I mean, if you can't admit that, I don't know what planet you fucking live on.
It's used for reproduction, yes. Great.
And just for urination, right?
Just like
and for pleasure, right?
And for urination.
No,
yes.
The pleasure is incidental because eating is pleasurable so that you fucking do it. Sex is pleasurable, so you reproduce. But just eating for pleasure, where like you swallow a bunch of stuff and then throw it up so you can keep eating, that's no longer nutrition.
Hold on. Which the penis or the vagina was designed to pee first, or is it designed for the reproductive system first?
It's 2-in-1 deal. Just say like no. Hold up. Because you can reduce your digestive system just to pleasure. You can reduce your digestive system just to pleasure. Hold up. Where you just eat and then you vomit it every time, right?
Changing your mind.
No, you can eat and vomit it every time. No. You can eat and you can vomit every time, and you just enjoy the eating, but you don't ever have the nutrition. It does
you can
damage.
Eat a whole bunch of shit. You can eat a whole bunch of
but the principle is that the pleasure isn't the principal function of any particular organ. The pleasure's there just so that you utilize that organ. And if you just reduce it to the pleasure, like in digestion, you will starve to death. No, and if you reduce sexuality just to the pleasure, if you reduce the sexual organs just to pleasure by masturbating or whatever, you will fail genetically. It's like it's a Darwin Award for you. It does do damage.
Your reproductive organ is now being used to rid your body of toxic.
No, that's a 2-in-1. That's just like a red herring. That's just
come on.
That's a red herring because for women, that's only for males. That's not for women.
I'm sorry.
That's not for women. That's only for males. That's a red herring. No, you're going off on a red herring because that's an excretory function. Yes, and if you're using your dick, like if you're not using your dick for excretion, but you're pumping stuff into it, yeah, you're doing damage as well.
Whatever.
If you're using your dick to suck up liquids, you'll die of a fucking infection. So not using it to excrete, but using it to draw, yeah. No, you can't. You can't. You say, okay, so instead of pissing out your dick, you pump stuff into your dick, you'll do damage.
You're a piece of shit.
I don't like that.
No, you're just fucking stupid. You're stupid, and you can't acknowledge you're fucking stupid. And this is like where you reduce your brain from making sense to just making arguments.
See, because you won't let me speak, that's when we know you can't fucking.
Yeah, because your fucking mouth is just running. It's not actually communicating.
Yes, that's what you have to do. When you have to run from the argument because you can't actually.
I'm not running from the argument. We're talking about reproduction, and then you're talking about pissing.
No,
because you limited.
He shifted it from reproduction to excretion. That's a separate function.
No. Do you try to make it like it's one thing?
No, okay, fuck a woman and piss in. No, okay, next time you fuck a woman, piss in her vagina and see what happens. You'll do damage.
No. What we went with is you said it was a reproductive organ, and then we discovered we discovered it's an organ to excrete toxic waste from the body. So is it an organ for reproduction or organ for toxic waste?
It's a 2-in-1. How fucking confusing is that? It does. You're not making a point.
It can be used for more things than just reproduction.
No, it's a 2-in-1.
It's not necessary.
Okay, well, I mean, okay, well, go and use your dick to stir as a ladle or as a stirring rod for hot soup.
No, he said he's going to use it for pleasure. That's it.
Yeah, you do damage when you do that.
No, what damage do I do when I use it for pleasure?
You win a Darwin Award. You fail to pass on your genes.
That is so stupid.
It's a matter of fact.
Why is
what, you think a Kuma is going to go out and get married? No, he's just going to fucking play games and masturbate. That's all he does.
Listen, Aquila,
he's
listen.
He's a virgin.
Hey, Aquila, listen.
Yes.
Listen. I can have sex and reproduce, right? And after I'm done, I can use my dick for pleasure as much as I want. So what's your point? How is that bad?
Damage.
How? How?
Because it's an organ, and the pleasure is there so that you actually use it as a reproductive organ.
I have kids.
Yeah, well, that was proper use of your reproductive organs.
I'm done having kids. I don't want to use it as a reproductive organ anymore. I want to use it solely for pleasure. How is that bad?
Well, see, that's not objectively moral anymore. You're just reducing it to pleasure. You say, I'm done eating. I'm done getting nutrition. I'm just going to eat. I'm just going to swallow shit and throw it up.
Let's stop trying to make it like it's one thing. It's not just one thing.
So if you're
no, but see, you're no longer being moral. You're just being a Kuma at that point.
And you can't reproduce.
No,
moral because you can't reproduce.
No, the thing is, like, you're no longer being moral at that point. You're just being a Kuma.
Great, I'm a Kuma. I don't give a fuck. Great, call me names. Like it means shit to me.
Yeah, but you're not going to claim that you're being moral by masturbating, right?
It's not.
Let me know the moral part of it. I don't see the moral part.
It's not a moral thing.
Wait a minute. This is the thing. It's like, yeah, you can swallow something and then throw it up, and you just enjoy doing it. This is not a praiseworthy action. It's stupid. It's a misuse of your stomach. The same with masturbating.
Say it's stupid, then. Don't say it's immoral.
Yeah.
Great, you have an opinion about it. Great.
Well, this is where it's like, okay, so you can start to acknowledge that you do things which are immoral. It's like, no, otherwise you're just going to say everything you feel like doing and everything you do is moral because you just feel like doing it. That's not morality. That's just that's just monkey see, monkey do. That is not morality.
Not everything is immoral. There are amoral things.
Basically, your moral system does not admit that you could ever possibly do anything wrong because you feel like doing it. It's right. No, you don't have morality if you can't admit that you can ever do anything wrong.
No, I do think it's wrong and immoral, and I.
No, but it's like if you fucking hate someone, well, then you're justified in killing them. I mean, this is your morality where you can never, ever actually do anything wrong.
That's your fucking belief of it. That's not what I
No,
said.
it isn't. No, I'm not.
That's your straw man.
I'm not the one who's defending masturbation.
There's nothing immoral about masturbation.
Well, if that's your principle, then there's nothing immoral, and then you're not even discussing morality. So shut the fuck up.
What is immoral about masturbation?
You're reducing your sexual function to mere pleasure. And then you can reduce everything you do to mere pleasure. So if you enjoy killing people, it's all right because you say pleasure is the justifier. So you can never actually do anything wrong.
No, that's not what I say. So that's...
You're a fucking Kuma. Shut the fuck up. If you can't admit you can do anything wrong, you are not discussing morality. You're just justifying being a fucking pleasure center.
I said the opposite.
You are a pleasure button, and you're going to push it, and that is not morality.
Holy shit! You just want to argue with.
You don't understand what morality is if you don't understand that you can actually do anything wrong.
What is?
You don't understand what morality is. Yeah, what's your definition of morality? Because I'm lost.
Misusing your body or your mind or whatever thing that you actually have some sort of control over.
And what is the proper use of it? And who?
It's implied in its very nature. The fact that you've got an intellect, it's so that you can understand. But when you use your intellect to deceive, wait a minute. When you use your intellect to deceive, that's not understanding. That's not communicating. That's deceiving. It's a misuse.
You said it's implied, so there is no actual fact of the matter, right?
There is. You've got a fucking brain, don't you? So use your brain to try and understand and then communicate, not just to justify, whatever you feel is pleasurable, because you don't need a brain for that. You can just be a fucking cow who enjoys eating and shitting.
What's that got to do with fucking explaining what morals are?
It's you actually have the capacity to understand and the capacity to communicate. So when you use them for understanding and communicating, it's praiseworthy. When you pull back from that, you are making a misuse of that faculty, or just neglecting to use it, which again is not morally praiseworthy.
Where is this code? Where is this code written down? And that's a matter of fact of what
it's implied in the actual ability.
It's implied. There we go again.
Yeah, it is like a car. A car can drive on a road, right? But then you just take a car and you just throw it off a cliff. That's a misuse of a car, right? That's not what a car's built for. People don't build cars with cruise control so you can just watch them go off a cliff.
You said it. It's implied. There's no fact of the matter. It's just your interpretation of it and what you think should be done.
Well, if you want to argue this, again, you are just asserting that you can never do anything wrong. And again, this is not discussing morality. You are just denying there's morality, so fuck off.
You're not discussing morality either. You're just saying
I am.
You're saying what you believe should be. Show me where it's an ought, not just what you think it should be.
The ought is implied in its teleology. It's like, excuse me, fuck's sake. That was a horrible burp. Fuck's sake. Shit. I almost vomited because I was drinking Coke. But yeah, the teleology is implied. Like, just for instance, right? You've got legs.
Coke's not good for
your legs aren't there. No, your legs aren't there just for, I guess doing some sort of like.
What is the nutrition that you're getting from Coca-Cola? Because that's very immoral of you.
No, don't.
No, I use it for hydration. I don't use it for nutrition.
No, you do. No, that's pleasure. That's definitely pleasure.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, you're so, like, apparently
using it for hydration.
It's recommended. No, listen to this. No,
the caffeine and the sugar.
I can. No, I don't. I drink sugar free. By the way, I drink sugar free. I drink sugar free. The thing is, like, it's recommended. Hold up. You just see again. Your ears are fucking useless. You could survive without ears because your mouth just runs off.
And the sugar.
But anyway, it's recommended that you drink 2 liters of water a day.
Water.
I can't fucking stomach it, so I actually drink sugar-free Coke because I can actually stomach that much liquid.
No, you drink it for pleasure. You drink it for pleasure, which is immoral.
No, it's because plain water. I can maybe get myself to drink like half a liter, but I just can't force down anymore.
Don't make excuses for your immorality.
No, this is what tea. I mean, it could be tea. I just happen to have some Coke. I don't drink 2 liters of Coke. I have tea. I have coffee.
Yes,
it's
but
like putting flavor in the water makes it easier to drink.
Make excuses for your immorality.
No,
but reducing it to pleasure would be drinking it, then throwing it up. So I can drink even more. That would be reducing it to pleasure.
No, your stomach.
That's separating hydration from the drinking.
You're supposed to eat for nutritional value. There's no nutrition.
No, that's bullshit. No, that's bullshit. No, that's veganism. That's like that's OCD bullshit. No,
you made this dumbass shit up, and so you got to.
No. Because as long as it doesn't matter if I enjoy it. I enjoy it so that I can actually do it. But I'm saying the pleasure. The pleasure of reproduction is so that you fucking do it. And the pleasure of drinking is so that you actually do it.
It's immoral.
How fucking hard is that to understand?
It's immoral. It's immoral.
It isn't immoral. It would be immoral if I vomited at it.
Nathan, could you eat like 100 grams of unseasoned like steak? Probably not. But if you put a little bit of pepper on, you can eat the whole thing. Right? If you put a little bit of salt on, you can like consume a lot more because your tongue, it has taste buds. It needs like taste to like put food in your body because us like won't reject it. Right? It's unpalatable. So if you put on condiments and stuff, or you drink water that's sweeter, you're gonna be able to eat more of it, right? And so if he's saying he needs to stay hydrated, and he can't stomach just normal water as much as he needs to drink, then he's gonna add
a little sugar in this water.
Sugar in there or whatever.
There's no reason for him to drink Coca-Cola. He's drinking it for pleasure only.
Sugar-free Coca-Cola. I have a bit of Coca-Cola. I have some tea. I have some coffee. Like I have different flavors. Water. I'm not a Coke addict.
And tea, all pleasure is immoral.
It is because pleasure is there to motivate you to do what is healthy.
No, you're not doing what is healthy. You're doing what's immoral.
How is it unhealthy?
It's immoral.
Masturbation is healthy for you. What if masturbation is healthy for you? Does that make it moral?
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
It is actually scientifically proven that if you can ejaculate regularly, it is actually beneficial for your health.
How? How?
Yeah, there's actually scientific studies. Because
how is it healthy?
Not backing up your fucking balls.
Yeah, having sex does the same thing.
You have to get rid of it.
Having sex has
if you need to coom badly, you're gonna do it in your dream, right?
Yeah,
your body
that is a thing too.
Itself.
Yeah, I mean, since COVID, I haven't been on a fucking date since COVID, and I have nocturnal dreams and it's like, okay, I might have to do a bit of laundry in the morning, but that's it. And the sad thing is, like, the coomers here are so fucking addicted to cooming, they probably have never had a wet dream in their life because their balls are always empty.
Wait a minute. Your body is ejaculating that semen, which was made for procreation. So your body's immoral.
No, what happens when you're sleeping isn't a moral action.
No, but your body
it isn't a moral action when you're asleep.
Your body. No, you see, if the intention of that semen was for procreation, then your body should never.
What do you mean? Semen doesn't have a fucking intention.
It should, your body.
Obviously, God created the body to continuously make sperm, and he knew the sperm would die.
I mean,
different
you
than
don't fucking need a brain. You just need a fucking mouth at this point. Like you're just doing like Google search results. You're not even thinking before you're speaking.
Either are you. You're fuck. You
just listen to this. You cannot claim to be discussing morals if you cannot admit you can never do anything wrong.
I didn't admit that. Fuck, I admit you can do things wrong.
Like what?
You fucking open your ears and
like what?
Pay attention to
okay, so what can you do wrong?
Steal, murder, lie,
masturbate,
harm people. Yes, there's lots of things I can do wrong.
Okay.
Hurt people's feelings, it has nothing to do with a God.
Has anyone made any claim that God was like the foundation for morality in this discussion?
Where have you been, Aquila? Where have you been? That's been the whole fucking claim the whole fucking day.
No, it hasn't.
great. Well, then there's no outside thing. There's no outside force that guides my morality. It's all a natural. It's all a natural thing that evolved over evolution.
You could say that, but I mean, what actually causes all of these natures to exist? God. So yeah, God is the foundation of it because these things actually exist, and He's the cause of them. So it'd say like God's law is written in your human body. It's like don't masturbate, don't eat and then throw up, don't kill other people, don't fucking use your intellect for deceiving and being a dumb cunt.
Don't masturbate. Where does it say don't masturbate? I want to read this one.
Because you're just reducing it to pleasure. The principle is when you reduce the function of an organ just to pleasure, you actually do damage to the organ and to your moral faculty.
I disagree with that. Show me how it does damage to the organ and the moral faculty.
Okay, I'll give you like an example of an organ. If you eat and you just throw up, so that you can keep on eating and throwing up.
Keep it on the reproductive organ. Keep it on the reproductive organ, and me masturbating. Show me the damage.
Okay. Okay, so you masturbate and cum all the time, right? You're not going to go out and establish a proper relationship, and you're just going to be a Darwinian fail.
Why? What?
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Are you married?
No.
No, you're not, because you're a fucking coomer. You're a coomer. I mean, you're claiming that it doesn't have an effect in your life?
Muhammad was a coomer, but he had a lot of lives.
I go out. Listen, I'm sorry. I go out and have sex with women, and I masturbate. So.
Okay, so have you got a family? Are you raising kids? You probably won't.
I have two daughters. They're 26 and 28.
Okay, you're similar situation to myself. Okay, so you're just an old coomer who gave up your morals.
So Aquila,
you still haven't told me what's moral about it. What's immoral about it besides your own interpretation?
The principle is reducing the function of an organ to mere pleasure does damage both to your moral faculty and to the organ. Maybe less so to the reproductive one because it doesn't wear out. I mean, that's
it has done. You haven't told me what damage is done. You just claim it does damage. Tell me
damage of misuse.
Aquila, I've been with my wife for 17 years, and I handle myself all the time, and we screw like bunnies. So, what damage is it doing?
Same.
To your moral faculty, you're just a married coomer.
And now you're
you're just a dumbass.
Is that special pleading? What is that?
Okay,
you just keep changing it.
But this is okay. So your principle is whatever you feel like doing, and it's going to be pleasurable to you. That's perfectly fine. That is not morality. It's just
no, that's absolutely not the position.
I still haven't heard the damage done. Now you're going to ignore
the damage is the misuse, right? For some organs, it's more obvious because they're more vital. Like nutrition's far more vital than reproduction, right?
Done? What damage?
It's the misuse.
Misuse is not a damage. It causes no damage.
Okay, so take a Formula One car off-road and claim that no damage is done.
Category error.
Stick to the reproductive organ. Tell me what damage is done.
Well, the reproductive organ, you would agree, faculty, is connected to your neurology and to your conscious mind, and it's like integrated. It's like a full system integration, right? It's like cruise control. It's connected to the power drive, to the computer section, and to the. It's just fully integrated into the whole system, right? You end up masturbating.
I don't think.
It does have an effect on people's psychology. You're probably depressed or some. It does weird things to different people. Like people just fucking go weird when they become coomers.
I think you're making a huge generalization.
I mean, if you want to if you want to have a bit of a sense of it, listen to look at these guys who do the No Nut November. And what they report on the benefits of not being a coomer, at least for a month, is.
What are those?
It's like their motivation, their ability to focus, their general outlook on life, their levels of depression. All of these things experience a positive effect when they're not just masturbating all the time.
Yeah, but they do it for a month because any longer than that becomes dangerous.
No, it doesn't, because you just have a wet dream and you release, any buildup.
Yeah, what about the people who don't and can't?
Well, I don't know. They're fucking, degenerates of some sort.
No, the people who are physiologically incapable of doing what you're talking about, so they have to do it themselves.
That's bullshit.
Oh, that's bullshit.
No,
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
I can tell you as a fact of matter is that like, okay, sometimes it's like, this is kind of, I don't like discussing this kind of like when it gets a bit graphic, but it's like, if I haven't had like a wet dream for a long time, it's like when I go to shit, when I'm pushing the shit out, it's like I piss a bit of semen. Just a bit.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You
I don't know. It just fucking happens. Like I said, it's kind of unpleasant, but it's like, yeah, you get this kind of build up or whatever.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And it comes out. It's like you strain at the toilet and a bit comes out.
Yeah, us normal people don't deal with that.
No, you're just wankers.
Doctor about that.
Wait,
you're a wanker.
Can I ask my question now?
Nothing's to come out. It's like you're shaking an empty tomato sauce bottle or a ketchup bottle. Nothing's going to come out.
All right, can I ask my
question now? You need to go see a doctor about that, man.
Believe me, I produce plenty. I produce plenty.
Blue ball territory. It's like, and for some reason I haven't had one of those dreams, whatever. But
and believe me, sir, I produce plenty. I produce enough for all.
Well, no, actually, the semen, the actual semen, like from the balls, is very small quantity. Most of it's from the accessory glands on the way out. So it's not a large volume that your balls actually produce.
Well, here, I guess I have to yell to get my question.
You guys hear Kappa?
Your mic is really quiet. Your mic's really quiet. So.
Turn him up. I can hear him fine.
Nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. So, where in the Bible does it say that sleeping alleviates you from blame for spilling your semen on you? Where does that happen? Where does that occur?
That's a cause. That's just a natural cause of the body. Right? God created
it. It doesn't matter because in the Bible, it says. Hold on, but in the Bible,
your religion is like a legal book. It's like looking for loopholes and arguments and quotes and all this. That's not about reality.
Sperm have a life. Okay, sperm have a life, and God made the body to make sperm, and sperm just dies off naturally, even if you don't cum, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a natural cause of the body.
It specifically says in the Bible not to just spill the sperm after a sex act.
Yeah.
Anyone else kind of disturbed that? Anyone else kind of disturbed that he pronounced? Is anyone else kind of disturbed?
No, the Bible doesn't say that. That's not what the Bible says.
And is anyone else kind of disturbed they keep pronouncing it coom?
Yes, I'm disturbed because I put that on my.
No, that's from a meme where it's like, you know how you said "Okay, boomer." Now you know the "Okay, boomer" kind of thing. That was a few years ago. Then there was like "Okay, coomer." It's like someone whose just whole mentality is around self-pleasuring, and it kind of extends into all facets of their life. Yeah, that's why it's pronounced coom, because it's a derivation of the boomer meme. Fuck, I am a boomer, and I know that.
Yeah. Well, I know that my masturbation doesn't involve my life, and that interpretation of the Bible is incorrect. The reason God killed Om is because Om was supposed to impregnate his dead brother's wife and give her a child, so they could carry on the bloodline. And since he disobeyed God and didn't get her pregnant and give her a child, he pulled out and spilled his seed because he wanted to have his own kids with his own woman. God killed him because he disobeyed. It's not because he jerked or spilt on the ground.
And that's one way to kill a conversation. That's one way to kill a conversation.
You know, where it's like, okay, so we're dealing with one of these weirdos who just quote scriptures like that.
I got a question for you, Aquila, because you mentioned something about getting these things from quotes. What was that thing you just said? You said everybody gets their ideas from other people. Because in Australia, set it off.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bart. Sorry, like I'm not trying to be like evasive.
No. I understand. I didn't explain myself properly, but you use these terms that are like new terms. What terms did you use to describe?
Oh, okay, like because I was calling people who masturbate kumas, and it's like just this mispronunciation of kummers or cum addicts or whatever, which is derived from this thing which was popular on the internet a few years ago, saying "Okay, boomer" is like a way of being dismissive to boomers, like the generation after the baby boomers.
Now you know how that started, right? You know how that started.
Well, it's just intergenerational angst. But then you had this other one come up where you're dismissive of people who are wankers. What?
Well, it started because a lot of people would make fun of the millennials, right? So the millennials, in the response, would say, "You're a fucking boomer," right?
Yeah.
But there is millennials, and the problem that millennials had with us saying that they were millennials is because they did grow up without computers like the boomers did. They did grow up with dial-up. They did grow up with computers being so expensive that you couldn't get internet access for a very long time. They use internet.
Well, no, the ones who finished their tertiary studies and then all the computing, like IT jobs, came about. So they're kind of just useless people in a way.
Yeah, but the millennials, I mean, they're the ones that are fighting for equality. They're the ones who are fighting for creativity. I mean, I don't really think, Generation X usually fights for that, because I'm the type of person that I was taught to keep my head down and go to fucking work, because that's the way everyone else is taught, But I don't think millennials were taught that way. They're a little bit more feistier.
They were taught that they're special and that their opinions matter, and it's okay in a discussion.
Maybe that's something we can learn from them. No, I mean, I wish my opinion mattered, but I was taught to just keep my mouth shut and go to work, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're in a workplace and you're not the boss, even if you are the boss, I mean, you go on about your theories about what a workplace should be and how we should, be mindful of the environment when we're eating lunch, or you try to lecture your co-workers about veganism, you're just going to get fucking fired.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. Though there is a lot of unsaid rules when you're in that environment of people that maybe complain too much will get fired. People that make too much waves, you got to kind of just go with the flow. You do notice now that things are different.
I've fucking seen it where people end up losing their career over a coffee machine. There's like literally like someone just proposed like we should get like an espresso machine, right? And some people are arguing, let's get an espresso. Another person like an instant coffee maker. Some people just a percolator, and they just bring your own coffee. Some people just fuck it, instant coffee.
No, but have you ever worked?
And some people just get so overdone in it. It's like they destroy all of their workplace relationships.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Now, if you work in a Bloomberg, if you work for Bloomberg, right? He deals with trading, and the thing that he wants to protect the most is the information that he has in his offices, right? So he will provide you so that you don't have to leave at all. There is a full cafeteria, breakfast, lunch, and like a little dinner menu, maybe with some chicken or whatever, but he has a full kitchen there. You don't have to pay for anything. The only thing is that you come in once and you leave once. You can't go outside for nothing. Okay? And a lot of these businesses in the city promote that. They don't want their workers leaving. They'd rather just feed them or have kitchens or have places for them to stay. So this way they get more production done at work. So when you don't have a coffee maker and they want you there for 8 hours and they don't want you to leave, I think it's something worth fighting for, don't you think?
No, but it's like, okay, it'd be nice to have a coffee machine, like an espresso machine or whatever it is. And okay, so you just say, yeah, I'm on board with that. But someone just made it their pet project that no, we weren't getting this, we're getting that. And these two people are just fighting.
So the problem with that is, right, so if I bring in my own coffee machine and this coffee machine explodes, now you're gonna have people suing me. So it's always important for the people that are the property owners to have these things insured. So if the fucking
No. But what I'm just talking about is like this fucking millennial I work with. He basically just became so intolerable.
Saying,
right?
No,
hold up.
He
became so intolerable that he insisted. We ended up with like an $8,000 instant espresso machine. Everyone refused to use it. He just got angry and quit after it. So he fucking ruined his career over a fucking coffee machine. And he's a millennial.
I find that hard to believe. I think there has to be.
Oh no, it's just this fucking crazy person. And the thing is, he got what he wanted, and after he got it, he quit.
Yeah, then he shouldn't be in the workplace. Yeah, he shouldn't be in the workplace anyway. That's not really a good.
No, it's just like I don't know if it was because he's millennial or some sort of mental illness, like maybe borderline personality, where they think black and white. And I don't know what it was, but this fucking guy, he ruined his career over a fucking coffee machine.
Yeah, but borderline personality disorder just means that you're an asshole. It doesn't mean that it's a treatable thing.
No,
I mean,
it's just they can't let go.
But it just means you're an asshole. That's all that disorder means.
And it's a bit more specific, I think, where they have to be right about whatever it is they obsess about.
So that's not what you're talking about, then.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this fucking guy. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Yeah. Anyway, but
I do say the millennials.
Well, I mean, I just saw that as like being the worst case of millennial behavior I've ever seen in my life. But maybe it wasn't just because he was millennial. But yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but I do see them, wanting to start their own businesses. Even with the newer generation. A lot of them start their own Instagram page. They sell their own merch. They start YouTube pages. I mean, it's nothing that we were doing in Generation X. I'll tell you that. I mean, they always said it was always easier to work for somebody because then you wouldn't have to put your house up for collateral. But
I don't know. I watch some of these YouTubers who are like
things. I guess it's more.
I mean, like if you watch these YouTubers, like millennials, like they're going all right, they're getting more subscribers, and then they get into these stupid fights with other people on YouTube or Facebook, and they get deplatformed over some stupid comment. Why the fuck would you do that? Like, if you're going to be,
but they have no
professional, like if that's your income,
they have nothing to lose. They have no assets.
No, I don't know. I presume YouTubers can make money out of it if they have a lot of subscribers, but I've just been noticing, like some of the ones I subscribe to, they get into these stupid
they're just complete idiots. When they start out, they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, but then when they actually build it up and they've got something to lose, they lose it over some dumb shit. Because they get into some fight.
Because of the way they earned it. It was too quick.
Yeah.
But I have to say that at least some of them, they want to start their own businesses and shit. I had the balls to do it here and there, but nothing crazy. It had to be sustainable. Yo, when it snowed in New York, okay, we would go out with our friends and we would know what houses to hit up to fucking shovel. Shit, we can make up to $120. And this is back when I was 12, 13 years, 15, 16 years old, not 12. 15, 16 years old. Now it's the Mexicans that are doing it. Because the job is there. But the young generation doesn't want to do this type of work. They don't want to work.
Yeah, like here, fuck
because they get things so easily sitting on the fucking computer.
A horrible example here is like because of COVID, you don't have these like temporary worker visas or tourist work visas or whatever. So a lot of these jobs like fruit picking, strawberries, and other seasonal fruits, these people who are on unemployment and complaining, they could be earning, and they actually pay a lot for those seasonal jobs. They're just unwilling to go and do it. They don't want to go and pick berries, where they could actually earn a lot. I mean, the pay on those is just ridiculous. I don't know what it's like, but I think you can earn like $500 or $600 a day But no, they're just unwilling to go. They just sit on unemployment, playing games and watching movies.
But listen, I was willing to work for free when I first started working. You know, just to learn it. Because obviously, if you're embarrassed, you're not getting paid, you're not going to feel as bad. Obviously, they would still pay you, but that's with anything, right?
Yeah.
So if they were picking berries, who knows what other skills they could have acquired by doing this? Just one thing. Something you could have taught somebody else. It's a trade. It's a tradition. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if anything else, I just think it's healthier to be out in the nice sunshine, doing something kind of, in inverted commas, wholesome, like picking berries and getting paid for it, than sitting around playing games.
They'd rather play games than fuck their girlfriends. Like, something is wrong with that picture.
Yeah.
The girl will be sitting there, pissed. And you still play this game for 4 hours. Like, I don't get it. I mean, I used to play Counter-Strike, but it was a different culture back then. We were in an internet cafe, fucking doing 16 versus 16 Dead Dust, fucking 4 hours straight. On a landline with no fucking lag. So I lived it. It was just a different thing. Now you're sitting home, you're cursing at yourself. You're just talking to yourself in a fucking room into a mic. It's like weird. I don't know.
Yeah, like I used to but give myself a little bit of a budget because I was like earning my own money when I was a student, like doing stuff. I'd give myself a budget on the weekend. I'd go to the fucking video arcade. This was before you had internet-based games or whatever. I'd go to the video arcade. You play around. It'd be like a disco. They'd have music and lights and everything. And they never really actually had alcoholic drinks. But I was too young anyway.
When Street Fighter went to Capcom, it was a game changer. Because that was like the cool shit. But you had to go to the fucking